My director said creativity wasn't in my job description, so I delivered exactly what was written. I'd been the graphic designer at the advertising agency for 4 years when Sterling humiliated me during the client presentation for Cascade Hotels. I'd created this entire campaign concept with interactive elements, augmented reality features, and a social media integration that would make their brand unforgettable. Sterling stopped me halfway through the pitch with this dismissive wave that made the client visibly uncomfortable. This is way too elaborate, Juliet. He turned to the client with an apologetic smile. She gets carried away sometimes. Your job description says create marketing materials, not reinvent advertising. Just stick to what's written and leave the creative vision to people who understand strategy. The client looked between us awkwardly while I sat there feeling 4 years of award-winning work get reduced to following instructions like a printer. I closed my presentation without another word. Fine. Exactly what's written then. Sterling nodded with satisfaction. See how simple that is when you stay in your lane? Monday morning, the creative brief for Cascade Hotels landed on my desk. Deliverables listed, 1 hero image, 3 social media graphics, 1 email header. Dimensions and file formats specified exactly. The old me would have created an entire visual ecosystem with cohesive storytelling, multiple layout options, and strategic variations for different platforms. The new me opened the template library, dropped in stock photos, added the logo in the exact position specified, exported at the exact dimensions listed, and sent it to Sterling in 47 minutes. When he called me into his office looking confused, I remained completely calm. These look like something from 2010. Where's the concept? The concept wasn't in the deliverables list. You asked for 1 hero image, 3 social media graphics, 1 email header. That's what you got. He stared at the designs like they might transform into something better. But you always do multiple concepts, different approaches, creative exploration. That was me working outside my job description. You corrected that behavior last week. His jaw tightened as he realized what he'd created, but the deadline was in 3 hours and he had no choice but to send my technically perfect, creatively bankrupt designs to the client. Cascade Hotels hated them. The feedback email was brutal. These look like free templates anyone could make. Where's the innovation we hired your agency for? Sterling tried to blame the rushed timeline, but the client forwarded my original presentation that he'd rejected, asking why they couldn't have that instead of this generic garbage. By Wednesday, I'd completed 5 more projects using the exact same approach. Every deliverable technically perfect, meeting every specification in the brief, completely devoid of the creative thinking that had won the agency 3 industry awards with my name on them. The skincare brand got stock photos of smiling women with product bottles. The tech startup got gradient backgrounds with their logo centered. The restaurant chain got food photography from our licensed image library arranged in a grid. Each project took less than an hour because I wasn't thinking about storytelling, brand identity, or emotional connection. I was just delivering exactly what the job description said. Create marketing materials to specified dimensions and formats. The creative director noticed by week 2 when clients started complaining. She called a department meeting, looking stressed. Our approval ratings have dropped 40% this month. What's going on? Sterling immediately deflected. Some clients just don't appreciate clean professional design. They want flash over substance. I raised my hand calmly. I'm just following my job description now. Creating marketing materials to specification without the creative vision stuff that apparently isn't my responsibility. The creative director's face went pale. What are you talking about? Sterling made it clear during the Cascade presentation that creativity wasn't in my job description, so now I deliver exactly what's written in each brief. Nothing more, nothing less. No creative exploration, no conceptual thinking, just technical execution of listed deliverables. The room went completely silent as everyone processed what that meant. Sterling tried to walk it back, claiming he'd just meant I should focus on client needs, but I pulled up the recording from that presentation where he'd explicitly said creativity wasn't in my job description, and I should stick to what's written. By month's end, the agency had lost 4 clients, all specifically citing the drop in creative quality. 2 prospects canceled pitches after seeing our recent portfolio work. The creative director called me into her office with the CEO present, and Sterling was noticeably absent. We've reviewed the situation, she started carefully. Your recent work is technically flawless, but creatively empty. What happened to the designer who won Best Campaign last year? She's still here, I said simply, but Sterling told her that creativity wasn't in her job description, so she started following her job description exactly as written. The CEO leaned forward with intensity. What would it take for you to go back to your previous approach? Recognition that creative thinking is actually my job, along with the title and compensation that reflects that responsibility. Senior creative director position, $35,000 raise, and full creative authority over my projects without interference from people who think marketing materials are just logos on templates. The creative director didn't hesitate. Done. You start immediately, and you're no longer reporting to Sterling. They restructured the entire creative department that week, creating clear definitions of what creative work actually meant and compensating people appropriately for conceptual thinking versus technical execution. Sterling got moved to account management, where his love of following written specifications without creative interpretation could thrive without damaging the agency's creative output. I went back to doing what I'd always done, except now my job description actually matched my responsibilities, and nobody could tell me that creating innovative campaigns was working outside my role. The Cascade Hotels client came back 3 months later, specifically requesting me by name, and I pitched them the exact campaign Sterling had rejected. They signed for triple their original